On March 11, 2019, the historic walls of Westminster Abbey set the scene for the annual Commonwealth Day service, a gathering watched by millions around the world. 2 duchesses, 2 princes, and 1 royal family standing at the edge of division. Meghan arrived first, visibly expectant, carrying a quiet sense of apprehension. She took her place in the second row, hands folded, waiting for what would happen next. Moments later, Kate entered, with William by her side. Every eye in the room turned. The congregation rose as Kate moved gracefully down the aisle, her posture perfect, her composure unshakable, her expression calm. She took her seat right at the very front, a subtle way of asserting her rank. Meghan leaned in, maybe hoping for a friendly exchange. But Kate kept her eyes fixed straight ahead, offering only the slightest acknowledgement. Social media lit up, with many insisting Kate had snubbed Meghan. But those familiar with royal protocol saw things differently. Kate was simply following the rules, aloof, precise, every move carefully measured. This wouldn't be the first time Kate commanded attention in Meghan's presence, and it certainly wouldn't be the last. Tonight, we explore 7 key moments that reveal the divide between these 2 women, 7 encounters that show the contrast between someone comfortable with royal tradition and another still finding her place. It all begins at the Abbey, where tension filled the air on that unforgettable day later known as the Ice Queen. Beyond the splashy headlines and whispers of heated arguments, frustrated staff, and sibling rivalry, it was the seating plan at Westminster Abbey that spoke volumes. Kate and William sat front and center, right next to the Queen. In stark contrast, Harry and Meghan were seated much farther back, set apart, both physically and symbolically. Meghan, 7 months pregnant and dressed in a crisp white Victoria Beckham outfit, reached out with a gesture of goodwill, leaning forward to greet Kate and William. But Kate stayed calm and composed, her gaze fixed straight ahead. She offered only the slightest nod, her demeanor cool and professional, with no hint of warmth. For 90 minutes, Kate was the picture of royal decorum. She stayed perfectly still, her hands elegantly resting in her lap, her posture flawless. Every expression on her face was controlled just enough, never too much. She listened intently to every word, sang hymns with clear voice, and bowed her head at exactly the right moments. In contrast, Meghan's body language made her unease clear. She fidgeted, leaned forward, whispered anxiously to Harry, and glanced nervously around. Throughout the reading, she seemed adrift, adjusting her dress as the weight of the moment pressed in. When the service ended and the royals filed out, Kate and William led the way. Their polished waves and perfectly timed smiles showed a unity and grace that seemed effortless, almost untouchable. A few paces behind, Meghan followed with visible hesitation. Her demeanor clearly showed discomfort. In every way, from where she stood to how she held herself, she seemed pushed into the background. Body language analyst Judy James drew a sharp conclusion. While Kate appeared completely at ease, as if she were born for this role, Meghan seemed as though she was just enduring it. The message, though unspoken, was clear. Kate blended seamlessly into the royal family, while Meghan still felt like an outsider. Now, let's move to the second defining moment. Wimbledon, July 13, 2019, the People's Tournament. Both duchesses took their seats in the royal box, but the difference in their receptions couldn't be more striking. Kate arrived first, stepping out in a classic green Dolce & Gabbana dress. She looked flawless, her jewelry understated, her heels nude, and her signature hair perfectly styled. Instantly, the crowd erupted, a wave of cheers, applause, and a genuine standing ovation. Kate's radiant smile and gracious wave only intensified their adoration. 20 minutes later, Meghan arrived in a white shirt and black trousers, a look many thought was too informal for tennis's hallowed grounds. The response was lukewarm, a few scattered claps, some nods, but most of the audience stayed seated. The contrast was obvious. As the match went on, Kate became part of the spectacle, laughing, gasping, and clapping enthusiastically. Every gesture radiated joy and presence. Meghan, however, seemed distracted, constantly fixing her hair and trying to capture the perfect photo. Her focus shifted from the court to her own reflection. Then, as the stadium came alive with a thrilling rally, Kate jumped up from her seat, cheering loudly. Her enthusiasm was contagious, spreading throughout the crowd. In contrast, Meghan remained seated, offering only polite applause, her mood distant from the excitement around her. The camera didn't miss a thing, showing Kate as effortless and beloved, her every gesture natural, her presence impossible to ignore. Meghan, on the other hand, seemed carefully put together, aware of every gesture, trying hard to portray something that just didn't come naturally. The next morning, tabloid headlines were harsh. The nation's darling was compared to an outsider, lost in the spotlight. Royal watcher Rebecca English summed it up: the public had made its choice, and Meghan wasn't their favorite. Scene change. Moment number 3. Remembrance Day, November 10th, 2019, at the cenotaph. This is Britain's most sacred public tribute, a day filled with memory and duty. Kate stood in the prime position center balcony, flanked by Camilla. Every eye was on her. Meghan watched from a separate, less prominent ledge further back, mostly out of sight. This wasn't by chance. The arrangement made the family's pecking order clear. Kate's appearance was flawless. She wore a tailored black Catherine Walker coat with 3 poppies pinned over her heart. Each poppy honored a different branch of the military her relatives served in. Her expression carried the right amount of gravity, perfectly fitting the seriousness of the moment. Kate truly embodied tradition, fully aware of the solemn responsibility she carried. Meghan, also dressed in black, stood apart not just physically but emotionally as well. Her posture revealed a sense of uncertainty, as if she was still coming to terms with her reduced role. While the nation observed the traditional 2 minutes of silence, Kate stood perfectly composed, motionless, hands neatly clasped, every aspect of her appearance reflecting royal tradition. In contrast, Meghan shifted her weight and glanced around, her body language showing discomfort and a sense of detachment from the ceremony's emotional heart. When it was time to lay a wreath at the cenotaph, Kate moved with complete assurance. Her steps were steady, she bowed respectfully, and placed her tribute with a gentle, careful flourish. The message from Buckingham Palace couldn't have been clearer. Kate was essential, woven into the very fabric of royal duty. Meghan, on the other hand, remained on the margins, always feeling as if she was in a constant audition. Royal analyst Richard Eden summed it up simply: Kate had the aura of belonging, while Meghan always looked like an outsider. Now, let's move on to moment 4, Royal Ascot, where etiquette always reigns supreme. June 2017 marked Meghan's first appearance at this historic event. She wore an elegant off-white fascinator and a chic Givenchy dress, but there was just one problem: the dress left her shoulders bare. At Royal Ascot, the rules are strict: shoulders must be covered. Fashion critics didn't hesitate to point out her mistake. Meghan's uncertainty was clear. She seemed out of place in the ceremony, unsure of where to stand, how to greet others, or how to fit in. When you compare Meghan's first appearance at Ascot to Kate's debut in 2011, the difference is striking. Kate wore a cream dress by Joseph, with sleeves that matched the dress code perfectly. It was obvious she had prepared, studying the rules, knowing when to place a bet, and mastering every detail of race day etiquette. Kate mingled effortlessly, her laughter and conversation flowing just at the right moments. She looked completely at home, as if she belonged there all along. Now, jump ahead to 2018. Both women attended together, and the contrast was even clearer. Kate arrived in a delicate pale blue Elisab outfit, discreet and refined. Meghan made an effort too, choosing a white Givenchy shirt dress, but something still seemed off. Then came the stately carriage procession. Kate's wave was flawless, palm out, slow and deliberate, every movement designed for maximum impact. Meghan's greeting was full of enthusiasm, but it clearly showed her American background. It just didn't have that classic royal touch. Royal commentator Ingrid Seward put it perfectly: Kate treats every engagement like it's an important exam, making sure every detail is perfect. Meghan, meanwhile, relies on her natural charm to carry her through. But sometimes, charm alone isn't enough to open the palace doors. Now, let's move on to the 5th big moment: royal weddings. On April 29, 2011, at Westminster Abbey, Kate's wedding became a true spectacle. There were 20,000 guests and over 23 million viewers in the UK alone. The entire event went off without a single hitch. Kate walked gracefully down the aisle in a now iconic Alexander McQueen gown, setting a new standard for royal elegance. Her bridal look blended tradition with a modern touch: delicate lace sleeves, a modest neckline, and every detail carefully selected. Kate's walk was the result of a lifetime of preparation, showing the confidence of someone truly born for this moment. Her family completed the picture perfectly. Carol Middleton radiated poise and style, while Pippa's dress made headlines of its own, inspiring trends around the world. There was no hint of scandal or misstep, just a flawless fairy tale moment. In contrast, Meghan's wedding on May 19, 2018 at Windsor Castle came with a swirl of complications. The ceremony itself was beautiful, shared with 600 guests. But in the weeks leading up to the big day, relentless tabloid headlines overshadowed the excitement. Her father's absence became its own story, while her half-sister's outbursts in the media turned family matters into public spectacle. On the day of the wedding, even small glitches like a crooked veil and a mishandled bouquet chipped away at the flawless image. These are details Kate would never have overlooked. After the wedding, rumors spread about tense bridesmaid fittings, emotional fallout, and backstage turmoil. To this day, Kate's ceremony is remembered as a flawless pageant. Meghan's, for many, is overshadowed by family disruptions and breaks in royal tradition. As one palace insider put it, the contrast was clear. Kate spent nearly a decade learning the ropes, while Meghan had only a few weeks, thinking that would be enough. Now we reach the sixth pivotal chapter: royal pregnancies and how the world first heard the news. It was September 2012 when Kate's journey to motherhood began, with the announcement of her pregnancy with Prince George. The palace announced Kate's first pregnancy when she was just 8 weeks along, after she had been hospitalized for severe morning sickness. Throughout the experience, Kate showed remarkable discretion. There were no media interviews, no staged photo shoots. The message was clear: the Duchess was pregnant and unwell. Even when leaving the hospital, Kate stayed composed, offering a grateful smile and a dignified wave to the crowds. As her pregnancy went on, she continued her royal duties with care, always well dressed and never seeking extra attention. The contrast with Meghan's announcement was striking. In October 2018, Meghan announced she was expecting Archie while on an official tour in Australia. The timing caught immediate attention, especially since it coincided with Princess Eugenie's wedding weekend. Many saw this as an attempt to steal the spotlight. During her pregnancy, Meghan often wore high-end designer outfits, each costing thousands. She was frequently seen cradling her baby bump, a gesture that, for some, came across as performative. In contrast, Kate's 3 pregnancies were marked by minimal fanfare, earning her respect for remaining calm and centered throughout. Meghan's single pregnancy, in contrast, sparked countless headlines and waves of debate. Royal biographer Penny Junor put it this way: Kate saw her pregnancies as part of the royal institution's symbols of continuity. But Meghan, at least in the public's eyes, seemed to make hers more about her own story. The difference couldn't have been more obvious. Where Kate accepted her role and duties, Meghan appeared to want the position only on her own terms. Now fast forward to March 9, 2020. It's Commonwealth Day at Westminster Abbey. This was the Sussexes' final event as senior royals, a day filled with significance. Meghan and Harry arrived before the others, quietly slipping into their seats. When William and Kate entered, their presence commanded the room. Everyone stood in recognition of their status. Kate wore a bold red Catherine Walker dress, striking and perfectly suited for the occasion. Meghan stood out in a beautiful green Amelia Wickstead dress, turning heads with her elegance. Still, she couldn't escape the swirl of headlines that always seemed to follow her. The atmosphere between the couples was noticeably chilly. Meghan offered a hopeful smile, but Kate responded only with a reserved nod, polite, yet entirely professional. There were no hugs, no comforting touch, only the slightest acknowledgement. Throughout the service, Kate remained composed, her attention fixed on the proceedings. She took part fully singing, honoring every tradition, and projecting both solemnity and warmth when needed. Meghan, on the other hand, seemed uneasy, clearly aware of the eyes judging her every move. This was her final royal engagement, and the weight of that moment showed. There was no grand farewell, no united family portrait. True to tradition, William and Kate exited first, leaving little doubt about who stood at the heart of the royal family. Harry and Meghan left quietly, apart from everyone else already feeling the chill of being set aside. The photographs taken that day said more than words ever could. Kate glowed with confidence and a sense of belonging, while Meghan's body language showed her isolation and hesitation. The headline in the Daily Mail was direct: Kate stays and shines, Meghan leaves and fades. In the end, everything came down to these 7 defining moments. Each incident revealed the deep divide between 2 very different ways of approaching royal life. It wasn't about nationality or style, it was about preparation versus assumption. 10 years of careful study and observation shaped Kate, while Meghan seemed to believe that instinct and confidence alone would be enough. Kate respected the rituals and boundaries, understanding their purpose and honoring the institution they protected. Meghan, on the other hand, appeared to think that personality and charm could take the place of centuries-old expectations. For Kate, the crown was never about personal glory. It meant dedicating herself to something bigger than her own story. Every public appearance was built on hours of study, a deep dive into history, and genuine respect for tradition. Meghan, on the other hand, relied on her charisma, believing it would bridge any divide, but it just wasn't enough. Kate understood that true royalty is about dissolving your own identity, letting the monarchy outshine any individual. Meghan, however, seemed to see royalty as a stage to amplify her personal story. In the end, the results speak for themselves. Today, Kate is Princess of Wales, a future queen, admired throughout the country and trusted at the very heart of the monarchy. Meghan, on the other hand, chose a different path. She stepped away from royal duties, settled in California, and often spoke openly about the challenges she faced. These 7 pivotal moments make the difference clear. On one side, we see a woman seemingly destined for royal life. On the other, someone who found the role restrictive even beneath her. One embraced the responsibility of upholding tradition. The other expected the institution to adapt for her. With unwavering dedication, Kate Middleton became Catherine, Princess of Wales, a figure who is both loved and respected. Meghan Markle, on the other hand, stayed true to herself. In the end, she dazzled the world, but ultimately chose to step away from the royal spotlight for good.